What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Sharpest Tool. We're in episode 2, actually. Not on the season, but definitely in this mini-series that we're doing on the marketing funnel.
I love this studio, dude. This is still a great
This is great. I mean, for those who missed the first one, we are in the Scorpion Studios in Los Angeles, and this is awesome.
Yeah, love it. Hey, you know what? I got a joke for you.
Okay?
Okay.
I'm fair game.
All
Let's
right.
go.
Why was the plumber tired?
I feel like I'm going to smack my head against the wall the minute that I hear it, but I don't know why.
Because he was pooped. I know. I'm sorry. That joke is a bit draining.
Okay, you just one upped it. 1-2 punch with that. Bosco, I love that.
I had to get one at you. So.
All right. Let's recap though.
Ooh, yes.
What we did last time.
So to talk about last episode, for those that missed it, we were talking about the marketing funnel, right? And really driving awareness and what that looks like, right?
Yep.
So just to give a quick version of that, one, everybody is your audience, right? And there are different ways and methods to approach your audience and drive awareness to just let them know who you are. So providing the right message to the right people in the areas you serve with the services you provide.
Yeah. Right message, right time, right place, right people, right? When you think about it that way, everybody really is in the beginning stages of the funnel. Everybody. And if businesses, we're going to go back to this. If businesses possess a specific set of skills to solve a specific set of problems, and customers have a specific set of problems that need a specific set of skills to solve those problems. And marketing is the tool and the mechanism through which we bridge the gap.
The Liam Neeson of home services.
The Liam Neeson of home services.
I have a specific set of skills.
So if that is what is at play and we move down the funnel, what changes from somebody who's in this awareness stage and now they're moving down into what we would call the consideration stage? What changes?
I don't know, but I'd have to consider that.
Okay, this needs to keep going. Keep the jokes coming. This is great.
So at that point, you're driving awareness, right? You're just letting people, this is who I am.
Yeah.
This is a service I provide. I'm in your area.
Yep.
We're here.
Yeah.
Okay, great. I don't have a problem yet.
Yeah.
I bring up the roofing company as an example because I am not on my roof all the time.
Yeah.
Right? I don't inspect it. I don't know if it's got a leak. I don't know if the shingles are flying off unless I see them on the ground. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah, I should probably go look at that.
Yeah.
Right? So let's imagine in that scenario, right? So I might consider you, but why would I consider you? It's because I might have a problem now.
Yeah.
Right? So at that point, I need to do some research, right? So now I found some roof shingles on my driveway.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna get up on my roof. You're right, I got some shingles that are missing. We had some high winds. So I need to do some searching.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden now, I'm starting to search and I come across your ad.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if I want to consider you yet.
Yeah.
I'm on the fence about it.
Yeah.
And now you've got to work to convert and get them to consider you out of all the other competitors.
Yeah. So it's interesting. You mentioned something really key here, and I don't want this to get missed. So I've noticed something. I was in this widest possible funnel. I don't know. I don't get on my roof all the time, but then I noticed something. There's a pain that I have. And it does something to me as the customer, right? I start to become more intentional in what I'm doing online. My intention.
Everyone's going to have a problem eventually.
Yeah. And so like if I see a leak, right? I'll never forget our last house we were in, my wife and I, she was doing the dishes and she was stepping on the floorboard and she's like, it's all wet down here. And I was like, oh, you're doing the dishes. You spilled some water naturally, right? And then the next morning comes around and she wasn't doing the dishes and she's like, there's still water here. And I was like, you spilled a lot of water. And then I was like pushing on it. I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not how that's supposed to be operating. And then it's trailing where it's all going in between the floorboards. And then I pull out the dishwasher and it turns out that we had a slow leak from the dishwasher and the drainage pipe and the drainage hose. It wasn't installed properly. And we had to get the builders out, and it had probably it flooded underneath the floorboards, and there was mold behind the dishwasher. We wouldn't have seen it until we started to see that symptom that we needed to investigate, and then we became very intentional about what we needed to go do to solve
your intent's there now. You got a problem.
Right?
Right.
So the thing that moves somebody from awareness stage into consideration, I think really is intention. There's now an intention, and that intention skill, you get more intentional as you move down, right? Because then you get to a point where you're hyper intentional about hiring somebody.
I need somebody
right
Let's
now.
go.
Yeah. So what are some of the things that you typically see? I'm kind of curious, like from an offline perspective, right? We've talked about this difference between offline and online. From an offline perspective, how do people help make sure the message at this point is the right message for somebody in those shoes? Like the intention changes for the business or for the customer.
Sure.
How does the message change to match the intention to help further the client down their journey of buying an on-demand service from a home services contractor?
Sure. So in terms of offline, a lot of businesses deal with seasonality, right? And that's a great area to focus on, because as we shift from a different season, for HVAC as an example, if we're getting ready to go from, say, spring to summer, right, and things start to pick up in the warmth, so I'm going to need someone to go look at my AC. So the message at that point is, when's the last time you got your AC checked, right? Or for, let's use, I'll say roofer again, right? We just had a big windstorm or rainy season.
Yeah.
And so now the message is changing, like, hey, big storm just came through. Have you actually looked at your roof and understood that, right? So it's getting people to think about it and driving that intent. Like, you're right, I just saw some shingles on the ground, or you're right, I just had a leak come through, or you're right, I haven't had my AC checked.
Yeah.
So, I'm starting to consider some options here.
Yeah.
Right? It's getting me to think a little bit differently. So the message is starting to drive people towards, hey, if you haven't really thought about it, you should. And you also should consider us to take a look at it with you.
Yeah. What's also, I think, key here too, you have a plumber. Plumber has a specific set of skills, right, to solve a specific set of problems.
You got to hold your cell phone every time you...
Yeah. The specific set of skills to solve a specific set of problems, right? And so within that specific set of skills, there are specific problems that manifest themselves. And we had water under our floorboards.
Right.
That's a
drainage issue, for sure.
Drainage issue, potentially, right? Very different than hey, we don't have heat in the house, or we don't have heat in our water. Our water's not getting hot, right? So there's a symptom-oriented piece here too. And so as businesses are thinking about, how do we get in front of the people who are now in this stage of the funnel? I think it's really important to consider, what are the specific set of skills that you have and the specific problems that you're trying to solve, because the message is going to look a little different for me who has a water coming up from the floorboard kind of issue.
It's not about the business saying who I am, but now it's more about, here are the services that we provide.
Yeah.
Right. And really driving that message a little bit further home.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, okay, I knew who you were. That's fine. That's the awareness, but consideration of having that problem of a drainage issue. Oh, that company is now telling me they do work on drainage.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to consider them, but I need to do a little bit more research on them.
Yeah.
Right.
I think you can do this too, like with billboards, right? If you have a billboard, you've probably seen it on the freeway. You see like a water heater. Water heater is a service, for example, that a plumber would help solve for, right? But the message might be something as simple as, is your water not heating? Right? Or no heat for your water, only cold water, right? There's a lot of different ways that you could spin the language, but it's getting at the symptom. Hey, you noticed something. Your intention changed, Mr. Customer.
Right.
And we noticed that too. And guess what? We have a specific set of skills that can solve a specific set of problems that you are having today.
Yeah.
So give us a call. Now, if you move that online, it's no different. You're going to look at the same kind of messaging potentially for those key core services that you can help solve a customer's problems for. And then what are some of the things, though, that we could do, or that we kind of handle for our clients on our side from a digital marketing perspective? And that really you can get whenever you're engaging with digital marketing. What are some of the tools that you use to be able to now curate the messages at this stage of the journey?
So at this point, right, people are going to start doing some research, right? And they go online, and maybe it's not a dire emergency.
Yeah.
So understandably, if they have a flood going on in their basement, most likely, yes, I'm going to need somebody now. But that's lower at the funnel. But in terms of considering, like, you're right, I do have a problem. Let me do some research on you. So in terms of what we do for companies, it could be through, say, Google, right, and curating the advertising aspect, right? Because there's within Google platform itself, there's 3 areas to look at, right? It's going to be within Google Ads, as an example, or LSAs for your local service ads, or Maps, right? Having that knowledge panel there, making sure, so your Google business profile, getting reviews on there. And the last piece, of course, is going to be the organic aspect or organic ranking. So there's 3 positions there, and our goal is to make sure that you show up when that intent and consideration is starting to happen for your consumers.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the key things too is you can also accomplish this. We talked a little bit about video too. You can also accomplish this through video, right? You're answering specific questions about specific problems that clients are having, showcasing that, hey, I got a specific set of skills that can help with that specific set of problems, right?
When it comes to video, and I think a lot of businesses should do this more to help garnish that trust in terms of the consideration, is when creating videos or curating a video around a specific set of problems.
There it is.
Is like a DIY informational video.
Yeah.
Right? Nowadays, a lot of people consume DIY, whether it's, I want to know how to make sourdough, right? Or, you know what, I think I can paint this room myself.
Yeah.
Or, you know what, I think I can replace a wastewater line myself. Guilty.
How difficult is that one, Bosco?
It was, it was definitely a challenge. But it was something that I was curious about, right? We had a problem. Our wastewater line cracked.
Yeah.
And I was wanting to figure out how I could do it myself. But the videos, to your point, that were served to me were by companies and plumbers that said, hey, here's probably what's going on. Here's what you should check.
Yeah.
It's going to get to a point where you're right. This problem is out of the scope of what I can really handle.
Yeah.
Even though I'm just trying to show my wife that I can definitely do this. But I have to also own up to the fact that I can't.
Yeah.
But essentially, I start to have consideration for hiring that company because they're showcasing me, hey, here's your problem. Here's what you should look at.
Yeah.
But most likely you need to call a professional and we're here to help you.
Yeah. Oh man, that is so key. We live in a DIY world, don't we? I mean, there's so much information on the web about how to do certain things. And so everybody becomes DIYer once you learn how to do that. People are trying to save money and that sort of thing. And there's a fallacy in here that I think is really worth us exposing, right? With respect to video or social type content or writing articles on behalf of businesses. When business owners, if you really think about this, for anybody listening, if you're really thinking about the clients who you have who are in the consideration stage, you're trying to convince them that they need to move down the funnel to be able to give a phone call to you. And so one of the challenges you face is you have to build trust by showcasing your expertise. You got to showcase how trustworthy you are. You got to showcase your authority in the space and your relevance to what they're trying to do, right? The fallacy is thinking that you need to automatically convert somebody at this particular point in the funnel. And so oftentimes I see this with a lot of business owners. They feel like every social media post or every video has to have a call to action. And that call to action is call us today.
Yeah.
And what's interesting about that is it gets fatiguing. And I would argue it actually does more damage than good to moving somebody down the funnel. Why? Because people don't like feeling like they're getting sold.
Yep.
Right? They want to build authentic relationships and genuine relationships. And in order to do that effectively, you have to scrap that impulse feeling like you have to somehow get them to convert on this video or on that 100%. Video. It's about the consistent witness that you're bringing and the consistent expertise that you're bringing to the table and getting them to realize, if there's one thing I've ever learned in sales, is you always want to be able to help the other person feel like the decision is their own. Right. And it is their own. It should be their own. If anybody's hand's getting forced into a sale, it's not a good sale. Right. So in order to get somebody convinced that they need a professional to help them solve their problem, right, they need to be convinced on their own accord. And the best way that you can do that is to showcase your value as the trusted, authoritative expert in whatever it is whatever problem that they're ultimately trying to have. So they come to the realization, as one plumber that we used to work with had on their website. I love this tagline, still to this day, one of my favorite taglines. Call us when he's done. And it was a message specific to the woman of the household about their husband being a DIYer and messing something up to the point where they're going to need to call somebody. And so I thought it was such a beautifully articulated concept.
But it's relatable.
It's relatable, and it also showcases we're the expert. It also is like, you do your thing. It's okay. Go do your thing. But when you can't anymore, give us a call. And we're ready. We're waiting for you. So
I try to assimilate this to a lot of the home service companies that we work with. Like, why did you purchase your Milwaukee tools? Why did you purchase your Makita? Why did you purchase your DeWalt? Like, why do you purchase these brands of tools? And they'll give me an explanation. It's like, well, you know, they don't break on me, and I've used it for years. Okay, so you have a relationship with it. Got it. Okay, right. You trust it. It's reliable. How do you look to your customers? Are you relatable? Are you reliable? Right? Can they trust you? Right. So building up that equity is essentially key to getting them to consider you for the business. It's the same concept, right? So we need them to understand that aspect. To your point, if they come off just buy, like, okay, dude, back up. I'm not going to buy from you. Like you need to chill a little bit versus, come on, how you doing?
Yeah.
Hey, I want to talk about future state.
Yeah.
Like imagine a world where you didn't have any plumbing problems.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I'm starting to envision that. Wow. Imagine now that your wife is able to wash dishes or you're washing dishes and you don't have any leaks. Yeah, we can help solve for that. All of a sudden I just tied myself to you because you talked about future state. I'm relating to, wow. But you've got to build that trust and equity. You have to.
You know, we also miss another key thing that we'd be remiss not to mention it here. In the next episode, we're going to get into the actual conversion point, right, in the funnel, right? But there still is a pre-conversion aspect, if you will, in the consideration stage. So bear with me on this. You have a business who provides a specific set of skills, solves a specific set of problems, and you have a customer who has a specific set of problems that need a specific set of skills to solve those problems. And marketing is bridging the gap between the two. I do my research in the consideration stage. I notice that shingle. I notice the no heat in the water. I notice the water below the floorboards.
Right.
I'm running checks for symptoms, or I know that there's problem. I'm running a query-based thing about my problem. So I'm running a search online to try and get answers. And I find myself on a website that's got a somewhat related article, but I still have questions. I still have questions. So what do I do? Well, this article kind of got me to the answer I needed, but I have some follow-up questions. I'd love to just be able to talk to somebody, but not need to convert. And so I think there's such a key aspect here of being able to make sure the team is available to answer those questions, to build trust, right? It's not just about the articles you write. It's not just about your social media post or the video you made. But at some point, somebody still is in that consideration phase. They're not ready to actually book somebody to come out, but they might want to do it themselves. Or they might want to get a second thought about what they're about to do. And so having a tool such as like Scorpion's AI chat
there you go.
that can help answer some of those rough questions, not provide holistic solution necessarily, but to be able to guide somebody in that consideration phase, and also be on the lookout for the key opportunities to be able to convert somebody into, hey, if you actually give us a call, we can walk you through this. We're here, right? There's something key about that, right?
That's essential in the home service industry, is that when I have a problem, whether it's an emergency or not, having someone available, right? It's just like calling your girlfriend, calling your boyfriend. And if they answer, you feel good.
Yeah.
They're available.
Yeah.
I can talk to you.
Yeah.
Same concept. If I call my wife right now and she answers the phone, I feel great. If I have to leave a message, I feel like, man, I didn't really connect with her.
Yeah.
Same concept. We're all driven by relations.
Yeah.
Right? So when you have someone on the other end that's able to be available to answer those questions, that builds a stronger consideration.
Totally.
Like 1,000%.
100%. And you can, I would say 100, but you said 1,000. So I'm going to go with yours. 1,000%. We're going to scale it up.
You got to scale it up. You just got to.
You're totally right. There's so many avenues to now guiding somebody down. Everything we're describing here is guiding somebody down the funnel. We start with the widest possible audience, right? We need the curated message for that audience. Who are you? This is who we are. This is why we matter. This is what we do. Right? And that's it. We just need to make awareness, right? But then somebody has an intention. They move down into the consideration phase. We need to showcase why we're the trusted, authoritative expert in your space to solve the problem that you're having, right? We have a specific set of skills to solve a specific set of problems. You have a specific set of problems that we can solve. Our marketing is helping us show you that we're the right answer, right? At the end of the day, if we didn't do anything else in the marketing world and just did that, that's getting us further down the funnel here. Now, we're going to get to a point where somebody still has questions. And we've been using all of these tools, remarketing, display advertising, right? We've been using content on our website. We've been using video. We've been using social media to be able to expand awareness, provide some immediate responses to somebody's problem that they're potentially having. And now they're at the point where I need even more information, or I might even be ready to have somebody come out and give me an expert opinion in person, right? All of those tools, being with somebody through those stages of the journey up until that point of conversion, is going to give your business an edge above and beyond the business who is not present during all of those times.
But that's what you said right there that I think people miss. Let me cancel this type of product, whether a business is running it or not. They want to cancel these because they don't feel like they're getting any type of return on it. But you're walking with the customer through that whole journey the whole time, whether they convert then or later. you need to have these types of tools available.
Yeah, I mean, when you and your wife got married, you met like the day before, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was love at first sight.
Most people they don't think that way. They want to court. They want to build relationship. They want to do business with somebody they know, like, and trust. And how are you positioning yourself as a business that people can know? You got to be present for them to know you.
Yeah.
You got to showcase the interview before the interview, showing that you're somebody they like, and trust. You got to show them that you're the trusted authoritative expert, and that other people who do business with you make it easy to do business with them.
Yeah.
And they trust you as a result of that. They trust that you're going to get the job done.
Yes.
You're going to get it done on time, get it done in budget, and you're going to provide a stellar experience for them, which is where reputation comes into play here. Because that's another piece that we often miss, is just how vital reputation is.
It gets overlooked.
Here.
It's like, it's talked about, it's forgotten, it's talked about, but
it's like, we know it's important, but of all the things that we want to put our time and energy and investment into, reputation is not necessarily one of them. So I think a lot of that's starting to really shift, but it's beyond just like, hey, did I reach out for a review? Well, you realize that not everybody responds to those review requests on the first try. It takes 3, 4, 5, 6 times to get that review sometimes. Oh, and then you got the review. What did you do with it?
Exactly.
Did you respond to it? Did you engage? Did you show the experience that somebody gets when they work with you? You stay present throughout those stages. Such a vital piece for everybody.
Yeah.
So, consideration, Bosco, sum it up. 15 seconds or less. No, I won't give you that. 30 seconds or less. Consideration. What are we focused on here in the consideration stage of the funnel?
You've moved from awareness, you're moving down to consideration. Are you providing the right message still to the right audience for the services you provide, right? You now got to build trust. You've got to be relatable. You've got to be able to connect with your audience, right? And show them that, hey, you've got a problem. We're here to help with that intent.
Yeah, love that. Bosco, always a pleasure. Next one, we're going to get into some sauce though. Right, this is the sauce.
This barbecue sauce. Yeah, man, that sounds good.
Barbecue sauce, conversion funnel type sauce. So this is going to be the most key part of the funnel that most people have clear attention on focusing on, and that's when people actually pick up the phone. They're ready to get somebody out, and they're ready to book you for a job. So,
crucial step.
Crucial step. If you like what you're hearing, though, definitely hit the like button. Pound the subscribe button. Like you mean it, so you can continue to get more of this awesome content from all of us here at The Sharpest Tool. We'll talk to you next time. Thanks.